So you want to improve at Tekken, but you feel like you're almost stuck at a plateau where no matter what you do, you still can't seem to figure out what your opponent is doing in the first place. So it makes learning everything else and matchup significantly harder. If that sounds like you, don't worry, this video is just for you then. In this video, I'm going to give you a real set and examples in that set of what I was thinking, my thought process that led me to the actions, how I was able to learn how to punish this Reina player so quickly, but not just one example, not two examples, but so many examples of how you can learn to improve and read your opponent. Once you finish this video, you'll have all the tools needed to succeed and be able to start your journey of getting experience to start learning fast on how to react and read opponents' plays. That's enough talking, let's go ahead and get right into the video. So I've got this video pulled up on VLC. I went ahead and recorded this, so this is going to be an actual game that I played and not just like a replay. I'll go more specifically into that in the next example that I give as to why I wanted to show recordings and not just replays. But before we get into anything, I want to go ahead and touch base on the baselines of how you are supposed to be reading and air quote downloading an opponent. The very utter basics of it is once you play against a character enough, you'll start to realize that there are tendencies that everybody likes to do. The Kazuya player who will do nothing but attempt electrics over and over again, even though he can't hit them. The Kazuya player that hell sweeps repeatedly over and over again. And in this example, again, don't target anybody in this video, these are just examples to make everybody else improve. This Reina does a lot of stances. And again, I'll talk more into it when the video actually starts, but basically it's figure out if your opponent is doing the exact same thing that other people that you've played when they're playing the same character, and if they don't play the same, your job is to try and find tendencies, habits, or patterns that have happened more than once. Again, it might seem a little confusing, but I promise I'm going to give you a lot of examples in this set and the next set going on. So you're going to hear me post-editing Avrix talking, and then you're also going to hear me in-game talking. I don't really talk too much in these sets, but you're going to get a little bit of me talking and being like, oh, I figure this person's going to do this. Oh, look, this person is doing this, and then I'll stop it and I'll talk a little bit more about it. But let's go ahead and get into it. When the game very first starts, the very first thing that I like to do is I like to back up and try and see what my opponent is doing. Can they KBD? Do they understand neutral? What moves are they using at neutral, and how often are they whiffing? Are just a couple of things that I'm looking for. So we see a Wind God Fist there. I'm also just trying to apply lows as early as possible, because with Kazuya, the kind of like backbone of what I'm trying to do is hit people with forward 3, right? Hell Sweep is nice, but realistically for me, forward 3 gives me so much more. It gives me wall travel and an entire like half of your health bar combo. So while getting lows like Hell Sweeps are really nice, if I can start sprinkling in lows now to get them to want to try and duck more often, I can start using a lot more mids as the game goes on. And you can see right there, she went ahead and did a flash duck as well, expecting me to do a low already. So I've only done one already, and she's already expecting the duck, and I've seen that. So now that we've seen that the Reina player is already just like flash ducking in front of my face, that means that she's probably afraid of either an instant hell sweep or another low. No punish on there. And for this as well, I completely forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, I'm only going to be doing minimal punishes, so 1-1-2 on anything that's negative, or when I duck something and get a very substantial punish, the only time I'd be doing that, like a WoW Rising 2, which you'll see a couple of times, is explicitly when you should be getting a WoW Rising 2 anyways. Basically, I'm trying to give you guys the tools of if you don't have a good enough punishes yet, I can show you that you can still download and demolish an opponent without punishing everything to the highest tier. And right there, she just ducks again, right in her face against the wall. So I was like, okay, cool, well. Okay, so you like ducking. As you can hear, it's a little quiet, but I've already acknowledged that she likes ducking. Missed my punish there, unfortunately. And she's just kind of doing stuff in my face. It seems like it's a lot of frame traps and a lot of just like knowledge checks. Do you know that Reina has this? Do you know that Reina has a low from this roll? Do you know that Reina has this, that, this, that? So once I've already got the fact that this Reina player likes ducking a lot and this Reina player likes knowledge checking and frame trapping a lot, I've already got my 2 win conditions down on how I plan to win this first game. So again, there's that flash ducking that I said. I paused because I watched this like 3 or 4 times already to make sure it's at the right spot. But she flash ducked again, and the second that she stood back up, I went ahead and just hit her with a low. Interesting. So I get counter hit from that like weird chop stance again that she does with her legs. I get the punish. And I notice that she does a low. And I want to stop and pause this real quick and point this out, because what I am thinking at this exact moment is she just did a low. For some reason, I don't know why it is, but Reina players love mixing up Sentai 3 and Sentai 3+4. I don't know why. I don't think, for any Reina players out there that is watching, if you're trying to mix your opponent up, you don't want to be mixing up lows with highs. Reina has two really, really good mids, and one of them is a hit confirmable power crush. So if you want to be using 3+4 a lot like that, you should not be using Sentai Stance 3 like that the very next chance, because most people are just going to duck it. So now I have, she's afraid of lows, and she ducks a lot. It's more of a gimmicky kind of play style, where it's just knowledge checking and frame trapping, and she really likes using Sentai Stance 3 and Sentai Stance 3+4. I haven't seen anything else from Sentai Stance from her at this point yet, so even though she still can press other buttons and still can do other things, I've already seen that habits have shown she doesn't like to do that. So if I was placing all of my bets on what she's going to do next, it's probably still going to be Sentai Stance 3+4 or Sentai Stance 3, because in these ranks, people have a habit of either going, oh, there's no way they duck that and punish that on purpose, they probably don't know, or two, they're not even thinking about that, and they're just thinking about their game plan and the buttons that they want to press. So if they're thinking about the game plans and that they want to press, so if I've already been shown that this Reina player is only using frame traps and gimmicks, and is afraid of lows, and that's the only thing that she's thinking of, chances are she's probably only thinking about the lows that I'm going to be doing, and everything else is just, when can I frame trap this Kazuya? When can I apply my pressure? When can I apply my Sentai stance? So even though it still is a guess, the guess is highly in my favor to guess ducking low next time she does a Sentai stance. Miss the low, I get knocked away. So just Sentai Stance Raw into 3+4. So what do we think that she's going to do next? If she chooses either Sentai Stance 3 or Sentai Stance 3+4, I beat both of the options by simply ducking. So there is not really any reason at all why if she would do another Sentai Stance right now, I would not duck, because I haven't been shown at all that she's doing anything else. And lo and behold, it is Sentai Stance 3+4, and I'm able to get a pretty decent punish out of it. Minus the wall being kind of weird. So again, I waited for the punish there because I was thinking about it. I wanted to launch punish it, but again, I wanted to only show 1-1-2 as just for people who don't have good punishes, so I can show how to properly read opponents. She does the power crush into a mid. I'm honestly unsure if that is negative or not. I just went ahead and did 1-1-2 and hit confirmed it. And then I know that that string specifically, as you can hear, I'm like, what are you doing? I know that that string, she can't get anything out of it. She might be able to, if she does that into this like Sentai spin, might be able to get like 3, might be able to get a power crush. I don't know, but she didn't. And I knew that it was really slow, so I just mashed on it. And because I had the health bar too, so it was just a calculated mash. And again, I missed my while standing 2 punish, but yet again, she did Sentai Stance, and my first reaction is, let me just duck this again, because the round has just started, so even if she hits me with a mid, I'm not going to get any amount of damage that's going to be scary for me or put me in detrimental of losing this game. So I just ducked it. I wasn't able to get the punish, unfortunately, but as you can see now, I've been able to consistently duck 3 times now and punish Sentai Stance. And I had that information at my disposal and was ready to duck it and knew what she was going to do the moment that she did the first interaction. I just knew based on what she was doing. So I'm just kind of playing neutral with her, just kind of trying to space out here. Nothing really too crazy. Another thing I wanted to show here specifically, as you can see, I missed that down forward 2 punish. Right there. I did not miss this down forward 2 punish on purpose. This was actually an accident. However, I want to point something out for you guys. If you don't know the punish for something, or something you know is -8 or -9. Sometimes it is a good idea to do what I like to call is just a pseudo punish. A pseudo punish meaning, let's say I didn't know that this was down forward 2 and I didn't know how negative it was. Instead of risking 1-1-2 and finishing it and getting launched for it, or 1-1 and not being able to hit confirm it and not really getting any damage out of it, you could do something like down 1+2 for Kazuya, or down back 4, or even Hell Sweep, or something to get something started because you have the frame data. The reason as to why I call it a pseudo punish is because I do this a lot with people who are like -9 and stuff like that. If Jin does like Magic 4 standing and is -9, instead of just letting him take his turn and backing up, or just trying to take my turn back and jabbing, most of the time I'll do down back 4, down 1+2. Down 1+2 is a really good one that I like using with Kazuya because most people don't react to it still, and it's a high crush, so if they're disrespecting their frames and trying to mash on me, the only thing that they're going to get quick enough on startup is going to be a jab or some sort of fast high. They're not going to be able to get a mid fast enough because they're -9. So do keep that in mind next time you're coming across characters and you're trying to punish stuff. Lows are a great way to pseudo punish moves that are either barely safe on block or you don't know the frame data to. So she finally does the mid. I missed the punish because she's too far back, but that is extremely negative, so always punish that while rising 4-4, unless she's in heat, because then that's just like a frame trap, and she'll get like that weird parry or whatever. But again, I just did down 1+2 again, because she just is not respecting lows unless it's the threat of a Hell Sweep, so I do down 1+2 and then just get an instant Hell Sweep, because I know that she doesn't know that people are going to be doing this at fucking Flame Ruler, so... And then I knew that she was not going to tech roll, so I knew that I could get a guaranteed steel pedal. And then I went ahead and did while rising 4 because I figured that she was going to be ducking or pressing, so I wanted that frame back. And then from there, I just did another Hell Sweep. And again, she didn't tech roll the first time, so I knew damn well she wasn't going to learn that quick and tech roll the second one. So I knew that if I got that second Hell Sweep, I would guarantee the steel pedal and get the kill. So that was the first game, and just off of the first game, we were able to learn so much about how this character plays. That was just the first game, and just after playing the first game, that was just the first match. And after the first match, we were able to learn so much about how this person plays. I'm not going to show so much more because I've already been talking for about 15 minutes in my recording, I can see. So I'm going to go ahead and just let the second one play and talk about the most important things again. Hey, this is solidifying what we talked about before. Hey, see, the patterns are still happening. Just to kind of point out and re-solidify that most people, even after the first game, are not going to change their mindset and are going to probably continue the same thing. And if they don't, we were able to predict how they were playing the first game, so we shouldn't have any problem being able to predict the second time. I see Reina rolling here, and I know that the most that she's going to be able to get is a 1-1-2 into stance, and honestly, that's what I want, because back against the wall, chances are she's either going to want frames so she can do Sentai 3 into a frame trap to try and do 1-1-2 again, or again, she's going to do Sentai stance 3+4, or she's just going to do the power crush and I can react to it and punish it. So either way, I know that I'm going to be able to win this engagement, but for some reason, she misses her punishment, which is good, because sometimes people will miss the frame data. Sometimes people will miss. It's always good to hold back for those, even when you get guard broken, because I've seen it happen a handful of times, even up at like Tekken Emperor and Tekken God. I have seen people do guard breaks and not be able to get the proper punish out of it from the guard break. So whenever you do get guard broken, just hold back. And if they get the correct punish, then they get the correct punish. But if they don't, like that situation, now I'm back at a good position. Now she didn't get her punish, and I technically have frame data, even though she doesn't realize. Which is why I, again, when she does that weird, like, whatever move into the spin again, we were talking about it the first game, I punish 1-1-2 because I was able to do it last time. And lo and behold, again, we were able to get it. So now I am even more confident that next time I see her do that, like, punch up kick into, like, the Sentai stance spin, sorry, I don't know the name of the move, I will know, okay, I can interrupt this, unless she is explicitly thinking, oh, the Kazuya might punish this, I need to go for the power crush. Which, again, is very unlikely in these ranks, which is what I am trying to show to you guys. And then, of course, 1-1-2, favorite thing about this move is it puts you right in the range that terrifies people of Hell Sweep. So, go figure, she's going to duck, and I get a lot of damage out of this. And she presses there, which is extremely unfortunate, but and whiffs, but again, I could have launched punish that. I did not want to risk it. So I saw that she missed it, so I just went for down 1+2 so I could continue my pressure and just get a little extra chunk of damage instead of possibly whiffing the electric or hitting it on block and not getting any damage in the first place out of it. And then, of course, she was already holding duck, so I knew that by the time that she was, not ducking, my low would hit, so I knew that this was going to not be a problem whatsoever for this low. So she ducks my down forward 1-2, which is interesting, but doesn't get a punish, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And she starts actually applying pressure, which is what she should have been doing like this, and she actually starts pressuring me, trying to use mids, lock me down, and I'm getting a little closer to being damaged, but I'm a little scared, and I go ahead and rage arc, so I was like, okay, I want to see if this person's still pressing. I was going to risk it again. I've already won the last game, so I wasn't really too scared about her punishing this and me losing this round in the first place. I just kind of wanted to use this more as information to see, are you pressing into this? She doesn't press into it, but I also get another important thing. She does not punish it properly, which means two things. One, she doesn't know her punishes properly for it, and two, it probably more often than not, she was extremely nervous. That's another thing. If you overwhelm your opponent and you win that first game, more often than not, you're going to have the mental fortitude over your opponent and know, okay, they're going to be panicking, they're going to be scared. And as we're about to see, scared was exactly what she was. So she goes for this and she grabs me, and it doesn't kill me. It is barely close to killing me. She could do anything right now. What do you think that she is going to do after a plus on block while running move? You would be insane to think that anything else other than a low at purple ranks. And for some reason, the low that she decides to do is Hell Sweep. And, okay, well, I mean, you can see for yourself. I completely miss my punish, but I still win it. And by this time, it's technically now, at least in my mind, it's the final round for me. She could also get up to 2 rounds, but I've already won the mental battle, especially after that last game. It's very likely that my opponent has mentally checked out by this point, so I know that I don't really have to do much mental pressure to scare my opponent, because they have now not gotten a single round in the entire set that we've played, and they are on match point of losing this entire set. So they're probably significantly more nervous about winning this game, and are much more prone to making mistakes. No proper punish again. And then she ducks again in front of my face, like I said, because she's scared, and ducks a second time. So just from the first game and all of the pressure that I've had with lows and everything like that, and the fact that I'm blocking her lows, she still stayed stuck in the ways of wanting to just consistently block lows. And because I'm not a stubborn player and caring much about lows, I knew going into that next round, again, like I said, I had the mental fortitude to win the game, so I was just going to use significantly more mids than any other round, because I knew that she was going to be ducking as many lows as possible to try and stop me from trying to finish the game early and rush so she can try and take rounds back. So I knew, just do mids and pressure her and overwhelm her, and I've already won the mental game, so there's no reason to just throw it away and continue to do lows. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like it, consider liking, subscribing, and commenting down below what else you'd like to see. I mentioned it in the intro, but I'll be streaming this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be doing that the same for every single Saturday. I'd love to see you guys there, and if you enjoy watching Tekken, it'd be a super fun grind to get through with you guys. As always, though, thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.